Well, I'm Jim.
I'm Lynn.
And we're
Four
Hills
Farm
in Versailles,
Kentucky.
So about the word lamb, lamb refers to a sheep that is less than a year old. But it's the only term for a baby sheep as well. So when you go to the store and you see lamb meat, it's not from baby, it's from a sheep that is less than a year old. Our lambs are 9 to 12 months old when they're finished weight, and they weigh 100 to 130 pounds, and they're fully mature. We raise sheep on pasture, and we rotationally graze, and so they eat the grass down only so far, and then we move them. But we move them about once a week, depending on how much forage there is and how many sheep there are. But what that does is it keeps the grass in a most nutritious state. It doesn't get old and woody and whatever, so it's good for the animal, but it's also good for the land. It leaves that solar panel there so the grass grows back quicker. And because we don't plow the soil or anything, we just keep it in ground cover and forages. Over time it builds the organic matter up in the soil, and so that is actually taking carbon out of the air, putting it in plants, and then the plants die and it goes into the soil. So that's a good thing. Feeding is a mix of soy hulls and corn. Soy hulls is it's not part of the soybean, it's the covering of the soybean. It's high in fiber, and it's about 80% of the energy of corn, but it's really easy on their rumen. It's just like eating grass or forages. It's a high fiber thing. And then we put 25% whole corn in there, the shell corn, for extra energy. They get a lot of protein from grazing the grass, but they also need some more calories to especially lactating mothers or growing lambs. So we get about a pound a day each of that out of grass. This is grass we planted. It's a special kind of fescue called novel endophyte. It's very forgiving in terms of it's hardy, and you can graze it, and it forms a thick sod, so it doesn't get, they don't stomp it up. The thing is that sheep eat the grass and turn it into a high protein quality food that people can eat. So they're taking something that we can't utilize as food, grass, and turning it into something that we can.
All right, we have what's called livestock guardian dogs, which means that they're working dogs, and we have one Great Pyrenees that's purebred. This is Zeus right here, who's old and been at it a long time, 12 years for us. And then we have, I think, 7 other dogs that are a cross of Anatolian and Pyrenees. Pyrenees tend to stay with a sheep, and they bark. I mean, they're not aggressive dogs. They're not going to fight a coyote, but they will bark and bark and bark and keep the coyotes at bay. But the Anatolians are more likely to pursue, and sometimes there's some that patrol the farm. And those are great because on this farm we've not had a single kill. The sheep have been here for a year and a half, and considering that we're surrounded by a creek where coyotes run every night, we are really proud of our dogs.
Genuine lamb milk replacer for the bottle babies. Well, what we end up with is orphans. Like a mother might have 3 lamb triplets, and sometimes they'll reject one, like maybe the smallest one that can't be competitive to the other 2. So then we pick up the smallest one and we make it a bottle baby. Or if we find an orphan in the field, pick it up, bring it home, make it a bottle baby. They oftentimes, the females will get saved to be part of the breeding flock, and they're the most friendly. You know, they usually have a name by then, so you can identify them. We've got some that have been here for a long time. We have 2 different working systems on this farm. When we bring in outside sheep from other farms, we have a working system for that, and we weigh them and ear tag them if they need ear tagging before they go to market. And then our own sheep, our own flock, we have a separate working system. And the idea of the working system is that you can get the sheep contained in one place where you can eventually get them narrowed down to one alleyway, and they go down the alley single file, and you can give them their vaccinations, or if they need deworming, give them a dose of deworming now. Ear tag them as needed. We also have a scale where we can weigh them, and a sorter on the end of the working system to sort them into different pens for different purposes. And then when the lambs are small and still with their mother, we gather the whole flock, and we can pick the babies out of the chute and give them their vaccinations and such, and put them right back with the mother, and then the whole group goes out. So it's a fairly easy system to work, and portable and easy on the sheep. You're not chasing them around trying to catch them. They just go down single file down an alley where they can be treated and let go.
4 Hills Farm lamb, GAP certified.